the best I can do. I don't need to do another one, I really don't. I don't want you to put me through it again. It's torture. It's torture. It's absolute torture. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the test you didn't see. We're back on the Aventus, so we'll move in and test the Aventus. Right, we'll drop this straight into the brush. I'll give it a little sort of shake up. A few drops in there, pull it through, and just try and get comfortable on this brush because it just feels a little bit alien to me. I've got paint instantly coming out, so we're going to need to sort that out. Just reseat the needle. Now there's been loads of people with issues where they've took this piece out and took it apart and they've had issues here. My issue was with the kickback on this. I don't like it because it throws me off sort of where I sit for my detail position on the brush. We'll take the crown cap off. Right, that's better. So now you can see how much I'm moving back. See the trigger? No paint. No paint at that. See the movement in the trigger? Again, a little bit now. Now we've got paint. So it's there, but it's quite a bit of movement. I mean, you can see how fine this thing gets down. I mean, continuous line, sort of locking the trigger on with sort of minimal paint. And these are a lot of the tests you will see is this, or people will be doing this. Oh, look at the lines, you know. And that's not testing a brush, I don't think, because you're just on and off with the trigger in a fast movement. It's when you're working on a piece of artwork and you're sort of right up close and you want that minimal trigger. We're doing real small movements. I mean, it does get down. I mean, you can see how super down it gets, but it doesn't feel nice doing it. It feels very sort of, the trigger feels very, a little bit gritty. And just a little bit, I think for me it's too high up as well. I mean, I can get it if I really try and bring my thumb up to the trigger. But just doing like, let's just do some little letters. This is golden, so it's like a 1-to-1 on golden. And that's not spraying bad considering it's golden acrylic paint. I just find it hard work with the trigger being high up and over like this to work very small accurate details with it to get on and off the trigger. It's just, it trails off. See it? Trailing as I'm bringing it forward. Unless you're moving fast, you know, still getting that trail. But that's golden. Atomize is nice. I mean, this is why I said it was a point and shoot. It's not for this work. It really isn't for this where you're working like sort of real small portrait stuff. The trigger just seems too high, too leaned over the top. And when you do try and work the back, it's just gritty. I couldn't do a micro portrait with this brush. I'd just struggle with it. It's just too hit and miss on the trigger. It really is. Just inconsistent on the response, and it's trailing for me. It sort of clunks down a little bit. It's that you get a little niggle when it goes back. It's just not smooth. One minute you get it, and it's like, oh, I've got it. Oh, got it on the points to the finishing. But then it sort of feels like it's locking up. And then when you back off with it and spray like this, and you're fast on the trigger and popping a bit of paint in, it's absolutely fine. It's just a little bit too whoa sort of movement, like whoa with the trigger. It seems a little bit slappy. It's really hard to explain it. But every review I've seen that people have done, they're doing this and they're going really controlled lines, consistent. Well, it will be when you're giving it 22 psi with an half thinned out paint and you're moving quick with it, because you're just locking the trigger on to bring paint out quickly. It looks great, doesn't it? It's when you start going real tight and trying to work. I mean, it's doing it now. I mean, look how tiny that is. But it's just not consistent. It really isn't. It's not consistent enough for me if I'm working right down or something like this. Anyway, that's a golden paint. So I mean, backing off, lovely. Atomises, you can't fault it. Atomization on that is how you want it to be, soft. So it does it, it just needs a better trigger. It needs a better trigger. And it's just, I just pulled back and it clicked. It feels like it's sticking on this bit here. Just give that a black. Createx illustration opaque black. Straight out the bottle at 22. See, now this is thicker. And the reason why I say it's thicker, it's a little like that. You can see it, a bit. So it's a little bit thicker paint. Just a little bit breaky, very slightly. It's either here or there, but it is breaking on it. Let's give that a little, let's give it a little thin down with a little bit of water. We'll go water in that. There's a couple of drops of illustration in there. I'll put 3 drops of water in. Back bubble it. See, now it's got it, but it's grating. Nope. See the movement in that trigger? That needs to be half of that, literally. You don't need that movement on a detail brush for, I mean, look at that. Let's go a little bit more water in that mix. See, when you're doing this, great, isn't it? You locked your paint on and you're moving, you know. Now it's coming out. But it's that. See, it's coming out really nice now. Minimal movement. So it does like, it's just that, it's got a grate. It goes, it feels like it sticks and it releases as you pull it back. I just think it's bad internals. Definitely bad internals on the trigger. The Mobius feels so much better than this. It really does on the trigger. It's more responsive, it's smoother, it's not gritty or catching, it feels like it's catching inside the body. That's illustration sort of thinned out, illustration opaque black. Can't knock the atomisation on it when you're backing away. Really nice. It really is. But I think it's a lot of money, £140 to be backing away with a brush and just do that, because every brush can sit like that. £20 brush can sit like that and back away and atomise like that. Let's get some more paper. Right, we'll move on to a little bit of Wicked. We're going to go 40-21 with this. Wicked is thicker, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3 drops of Wicked, and we will go 40-21. Should have put the reducer in first, but we'll still mix it. 3 drops of Wicked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go 5 drops of that. Give it a back bubble. .22 psi. Again, see the movement in the trigger. See that? No paint. That's 3 drops of Wicked to 5 drops reducer. Now it's getting there. See, you pull back on the trigger and move quick. Oh yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? Move fast. Give it quite a bit of paint look. See how much trigger's back? Always looks good on a review like that, doesn't it? When people are doing this. And they go, oh, it's consistent, trigger locked up again then. Especially when you give it a further movement back. You know, people see that on a review and go, oh, that's brilliant, look at the atomisation, it's brilliant. Until you get it and try and do that with it, it's like, then you feel this grittiness in this, and it feels like it's got it 1 minute, and then it sort of feels like it's locking up, and then releases, and then the trigger sort of goes back quick. Now it's got it again. Tiny little dots. See, it's inconsistent. We're back on it now. Tiny little details, look. Write my name. Not a problem. And when you start moving with it and giving it a bit more trigger, and then try and go straight back, it's locked again. It's got it again. So that's Wicked. You know, this is why I say it's not for what I do. It really isn't. It really isn't, because it's just too inconsistent. It's too gritty on the trigger. It's too stop-starting. It will go down, move back, sort of lock up slightly. It feels like it's locking in the body, then it releases. You don't need that when you're going up on a portrait, or you're working like a 100mm square portrait, a miniature. It'd be an absolute nightmare. But say when you're backing off with something, say you've got something like this, yeah? You've got your model, you're holding your miniature model, and you're doing this. Oh, atomise is lovely, you know. Yep, this is where it sits nice, doing this, because it atomises really well. As I say, you're not working a miniature model and doing all this tiny little stuff on it like this. That's where its flaws happen, when you go right up close and you start working that trigger but minimally, and that's when you feel it. That's when you feel how poor it is and the inconsistency on it. So it's spraying the paints. It is spraying them, but it's just too hit and miss with it. £140 to have something that's like you're permanently fighting it, or you're permanently chucking grease on it to try and lubricate it up before you use it. I just think they need to sort the trigger out. They shouldn't have released it without properly dialing in that trigger. I really do believe the Mobius trigger's better. It's smoother. It's not graining it. The GHAD 39 trigger feels a lot better, and that's the cheapest one. Then you've got the 98, which will feel better. It's, as I say, it depends what you're painting. See, straight onto the 39, yeah, you got a little bit of trigger movement in there, but it's just so much more nicer to work with. It really is. You know, you're moving a little bit further back with this for the trigger. Feels like not so much delay. Well, people would say delay. You see the trigger movement I've got on that for the dots. It's back a bit, you know, but it doesn't bother me that, because I can find and I know where the paint is, and then I'm on it. You know what I mean? Straight on it. But it just releases the paint. It's not clunky on the trigger. It's not gritty. And it brings the paint off better. There's no trail. I was getting trailing with the Aventus, but they're like nice point to points at that. Smooth. Atomization's nice. You know. I prefer using this. Prefer using that at £25 than paying £140, you know. You get a bunch of these for that price. There you go. Please don't make me do another video with it. I don't want to spray with it anymore. I really don't. I'd rather pick the 39 up and spray with that and show you some more about that, because I just think it's more easier to get on with. It really is. It feels a lot more robust, that does. You know, you don't mind doffing a load of paint on it or giving it a scrub over. When you pick that up, it just feels a little bit more sort of delicate in your hand. And you don't want to get it dirty because it looks really nice. But it's just more fiddly to get on with. It's more fiddlier of a brush to get on with than that. You know, buy yourself one of them. Buy yourself a Mobius, 2 brushes, still under the price of that, and get yourself a couple of bottles of paint. Win-win, job done. You know, you've got 2 brushes, one as a workhorse, which this is, chuck the big needle and nozzle in it for blasting the thick paint down, and then you've got the Mobius for the up close with the Mac valve on it to dial your air in with a better trigger. It's like, or better still, if you want a better brush, and one brush, just buy yourself an Evo. I said it in the other video, buy an Evo. You know, once you've brought it and then you come back to the channel and go, I think you was right when you said buy an Evo. Brilliant brush, isn't it? Well, yeah, I told you in the video that it was. You know, you've seen what I can achieve with it quite easily with no stress. You just put the paint in it and you go. No grittiness, no inconsistency. It just works. But I have to leave that for you to find out. You know, you have to go down the path that you want to go down by picking these brushes up. You really do. You know, entirely up to you. But that's my honest opinion on this, yet again. Because this is the second time I've given you an honest opinion on it, and now I've sprayed a little bit more with it. So you've seen me spray with it now. You've seen it with different paints. It's the best I can do. I don't need to do another one. I really don't. I don't want you to put me through it again. It's torture. It's torture. It's absolute torture. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Drop your comments. Tell me your thoughts. and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.